What's going on, everybody? Happy Saturday. And this evening, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to my local AMC theaters tonight to go see Marvel's Thunderbolts, aka a brand new movie that I was on the fence about, and we're going to go see it today. As always, I am Sash the Boss, and we're going on this adventure to see the Marvel Thunderbolts. I'll show you guys once we get to the theater. And going into this movie, I'm honestly on the fence about. After seeing the trailers, I'm like, this is going to be decent. It's all the side characters from the MCU, except for Bucky Barnes, a really major character, kind of recycled and reused a bunch of characters, but brought back a really cool new villain. So I'm excited to see how that new villain is going to be played out. It's called Sentry. So I'm hoping Sentry will be worth all the hype. He's a really confusing character, and I just can't wait to see how he's breaking down in the film. And I did watch a video on Sentry as well. Also, guys, I also want to mention this movie. After watching Captain America Brave New World, Saj personally says, I'm like, oh boy, hopefully the CGI would stick. But I've been hearing great things, and I heard there's 2 post-credit scenes, and everyone's going like crazy for one of them. So I'm not sure what's happening. So fingers crossed. I do have a prediction, but my prediction could be wrong. So maybe we'll see something with Fantastic Four. I have no idea, guys. That'd be cool because Sentry has tied with Reed Richards in the comics. So let's find out and report back. Okay, your boy has arrived at AMC. We're about to go see the Thunderbolts. And I did cut myself on a freezer door at the grocery store. That's why I'm in a Band-Aid, but it's okay. Let's go inside, guys. It's going to be exciting. Last movie I saw was Revenge of the Sith, and now we're back for a 2025 feature of the Thunderbolts. Let's go in, have a blast. And I just had a hot honey chicken sandwich, the bomb. So, here we go. Check out the new screens at AMC. You got the new screen times of the show times of all the AMC films here, and there are some beautiful posters all across the TV screens. There's Sinners, but I still gotta see Sinners. But there's all kinds of little things there. This is brand new. I've been in AMC in a hot minute. Well, I guess I can talk to you guys a little bit about the whole review of the Thunderbolts. So going into this movie, I was kind of have a mixed bag. I'm not sure what this is going to be because it's I don't know what's going on. There's some of the most underrated MCU characters in a movie that feels more like a Disney Plus series. Yeah, so this movie, guys, so going over some of the characters, I personally, when I first heard the announcement of this movie, some of the casting for the characters were just yeah, they're okay. I'm like, why is this person gonna be in this movie? I felt like it was a hodgepodge, kind of a mess, but these characters just worked so well together. This ensemble team here is insane, guys. We have Bucky Barnes, we have Red Guardian, Ghost, Taskmaster, we have U.S. Agent, and lastly we have Elena, and anyone else I'm missing? Bob. We also have Bob. So yeah, there's a hodgepodge of characters who make up this movie a very awesome film. And also our villain, Valentina. Or, I don't know how to put her. A vigilante? I have no idea. Yeah, Valentina is in this as well. Yes, guys, so with that, without giving any spoilers, brief rundown, my personal favorite still, I'm always a big fan of David Harbour's Red Guardian. I love him as Hopper. But when he's Red Guardian, it is always a treat. It's always a treat for me personally to see how much this character has grown on me. And I think it's just a fun little goofball that is a kind of a middle-aged, retired kind of superhero. I'm I don't want to do this anymore, but I'm just going to be in this post-mortem of Black Widow's passing, which is his surrogate daughter. And Elena Rolanoff is just a absolute badass in this movie. She kicked so much butt in this film that I was so proud of her. This is her story and what's next for her after Hawkeye. Was she in Hawkeye? I can't remember, but she was in another Disney Plus show as well. I think it was Hawkeye she was in. A lot of these characters have made an appearance in other Disney television series, but it's her kind of finding her place after Black Widow. Finding her place after the Black Widow stuff, trying to go on her own path, working for another agency because the Red Room is no longer there anymore. I'm not sure. I'm going to brush up the MCU to figure out that. But the Red Room is kind of where she left off, and she's not really a part of that. She's still an assassin. She's still a vigilante, and she is going on this mission where pretty much the plot of it is that all these vigilantes meet up with each other at this remote location. That's where they meet this guy named Bob. So we have Taskmaster and U.S. Agent kind of coming together. So these guys are kind of forced to work together, kind of team up with each other, and almost ultimately become a team once Bucky Barnes kind of held them hostage, and they kind of became the Thunderbolts from there. So that's the plot without giving any spoilers about how this intertwines, because at first it was very confusing, but once you watch the movie, you'll have understanding. So sorry if I spoiled it, a little bit of the plot, but it's not entirely I spoiled the plot. I just want to give you the logistics of the plot. Yeah, and also Bucky Barnes was a very unique version of Bucky Barnes. It's a Bucky Barnes that I personally, as far as the characters again, Bucky Barnes is, so once I give you the plot, I give you the characters, that just makes more sense in my opinion. And also it's late at night, I'm recording. Sorry. So Bucky Barnes in this movie is a really unique role for Sebastian Stan. He's almost in this middle ground of trying to redeem himself from becoming this killer, this mass killer that you all know and love, this absolute badass who's annihilating through the Civil War and Cap's buddy. It's him becoming who he wants to become, like a U.S. senator, but it's also him trying to figure out if he wants to be still an assassin or just be a senator. So he really is kind of back and forth in the world. So it's kind of like him kind of loosely opening up to himself on who he is. And it's almost like him finding his footsteps on what he wants to do with his life. So this is kind of how he kind of ends up as almost like the red flag of the group of the New Avengers. Oh, sorry. I spoiled it. Thunderbolts. Yeah, New Avengers do not exist. Sorry. Yeah, I didn't want to spoil anything. Lastly, guys, so we'll talk about U.S. Agent here. U.S. Agent is also a big prime player in this movie. He was excellent. I really enjoyed him. He really grew on me from Captain America. U.S. Agent is the next character we're going to talk about as well. He really grew on me from Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And in this movie, he is a complete, almost not an idiot or a jerk. He's kind of between those kind of worlds. And we don't really get to know what kind of happened after the events of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. We kind of know where he kind of left off after that whole incident. And we know he has a family, and he kind of moved off of himself after murdering this one person with a shield barehandedly. And that's how he became this vigilante that also is a super soldier and also a almost like an antagonist villain, but also a vigilante at the same time, and also a super soldier. So it's kind of weird to see where that is. And I think the writers in this movie didn't really have enough time on developing him. And also Ghost was also kind of poorly developed. I think she was probably the worst developed character besides Taskmaster in this movie. I was really excited to see what they're going to do with Taskmaster. And I don't want to spoil anything. I'm disappointed still with the Taskmaster. Ghost is kind of sidelined in the whole film. The role of Ghost was literally just to be there to support them. She really had any lines. She was there just kind of as a pick-me-up kind of character. She does some really cool things in the movie, but then we don't really barely learn about what happened after Ant-Man and the Wasp. We kind of have a brief 2-minute conversation, and then she's gone. Yeah. And Bob, guys, holy cow, aka Sentry, was amazing. I just really wish they extended the ending a little bit and made it a lot more darker, just like the Avengers. And I kind of see where this is setting us up for Battle World. And I really kind of envision his character to do a lot more damage if he's given more time to turn on the Thunderbolts. I really think they're going to do something magical if this guy is going to annihilate something. So I don't want to spoil anything too much without anything. I don't want to spoil anything, but his character, I just wish it did a little bit more annihilation, a little bit more aggression, a little bit more mysterious, whoa kind of factor. And there were some moments where I was gasping watching some of the things he was doing in the hand-to-hand combat scenes and the fight sequences, I was gasping. Like, it was so cool. There were a lot of great action scenes. So, loosely, things I really enjoyed. The hand-to-hand combat, it really feels like old school MCU here. Nice grounded story, some comedic elements here and there. Or just a story that needs to be written a little bit better. And I feel like the writing, if it was the Russo brothers, would have done perfect to write this movie. And I think they would just do an outstanding job. I feel like they have more of an outstanding like time of doing like a classic more MCU films. But I also was thinking like the directors who wrote like Falcon the Winter Soldier, those kind of writers to come along as an ensemble to write this amazing thing and produce it together as with Kevin Feige to make this excellent film. So yeah, the writing was something I just didn't really care for in this movie. It's kind of sucks that the writing but kind of got it to me. There's so many characters you can possibly develop, but they didn't really do it with this movie. They kind of showed you all these really cool things with the ensemble team of characters, but the ensemble itself kind of fell through like apart and back together, back apart, falls into it's like almost like a loophole where they kind of come back and forth through one another, and it was cool to watch, but it's not like the best thing I've ever seen in the MCU. It's not the best written MCU movie, which is obviously Endgame and Avengers for me, but it's not like that. It feels like it. It feels like it's getting closer to once what we left it, and now it's coming back. So yeah. Lastly, with all of this being said, I highly enjoyed the Thunderbolts. Both post-credit scenes, there are 2 post-credit scenes in this movie, and I went by myself, had a big popcorn at AMC. Apparently, the large popcorn is $1 more than the small popcorn. So, it's a little life hack the guy gave me. So, shout out to the AMC employee for giving me that recommendation. So, if you have a big group of people, go get that. Big team, get a big team of Thunderbolts, get that. So, yeah, as always, I am Sasha Boss. And this movie is a solid 9 out of 10. Like, the MCU tried their best to really make this a excellent movie, but it's very slow, like pacing. But once it picks up, I really enjoyed it. It was a wild ride. It was a joy ride. And I just really had a blast watching all these fight sequences, learning about these characters and who these Thunderbolts really are. And I think just the writing alone just really was my gripe. The cinematography was great. The CGI was spot on at times. And just some of those like looser elements with the writing and like the script itself, it just needed a little bit more work. But the movie alone was a great film. I really enjoyed it. What ruined Falcon the Winter Soldier for me? Not a lot of screen time. Same here. I wish I had another 30 minutes. I was like getting really into it, and then I'm like, oh, credits, and I'm like, no, I was wanting to know what's going to happen next, and like you hear that, I'm like, oh no, yeah. I'm like, come on, yeah. So thanks for watching, and I am Sasha Boss.